Welcome to the first house. The first house is ruled by Aries. It is the house of self. It is the house of personal appearance, how you see your physical body. It is the house of beginnings, the house of first impressions. It is the house of attitude, the house of identity, and it is also the house that rules over your approach to life. Now, in the first house, we will define our ego. Our overall life experience is defined in the first house. Our outlook on the world is defined in the first house. And being ruled by Aries means that it is a cardinal house. It is the house closest to the sun, meaning that depending on where your first house falls, if by any chance in your birth chart your first house is in the first house, you will be the initiator in any group. You will be the leader of any group. You will not find it impossible to start anything from scratch. Your creativity flourishes. You you have the ability to just take over any situation and lead it in a direction of success. The one thing about the first house being ruled by Aries is you must take precaution because Aries has the capability to start something and yet never finish it. So you'll find Aries is the sign of multitasking, having many projects under their belt. So if you are ruled by the first house and you find yourself starting projects, or you find yourself having a row of unfinished items on your desk or on your dining room table, don't be so hard on yourself. That is just the Aryan energy, which is known to start but hardly finish. That is one of the drawbacks to the cardinal signs. They start but they hardly finish. And it is also the sign of the ego. You will find most people who are naturally born with their first house in Aries have a very strong understanding of the importance of physical appearance. They dress in the best fashion. If they're a female, their makeup is always pristine. They're always in the greatest shape physically. They always have this empowering personality about them. There's something about the first house that is all about new beginnings. It's all about a fresh start. It's all about defining oneself in society. It's all about standing up as the, I guess you could say, the most important in any group. The first house rules over how we see ourselves in the world, our characteristics that we display to the physical world around us, to in society. And the first house is that place where even as young children, toddlers, we start defining our personalities. We start defining who we are. And you will find those who are ruled by their first house in Aries will have this persona about them from the time they're young, that they know this is who I am and no one can change it. The downside to the first house is being over egotistical, because you'll find because you're so sure of who you are, there is the capability to become over self absorbed, over self involved, and there is also that possibility of having an inflated ego, or possibly a false perception of who you truly are. So that's something to look out for. Outside of that, if you run your natal chart and you start looking at your houses to see how they're placed, and you find that your first house is actually in Aries, you will find that if you ask others about you, they will define you as someone who knows who you are. You are someone who is very confident. You're someone who is very proud of yourself, your accomplishments, your life. It's actually a very wonderful place to have your first house, because you're an initiator. You're someone who, it's hard for you to take no as an answer. You keep going until you get that yes, and that's a powerful place to be. That's a powerful placement to have in your 12 houses. And that's pretty much with the first house. We're going to head into the second house, which is ruled by Taurus, which is the house of values, the house of money, materialism, and self-worth.